Powered by Riverside.
Hey, guess what? It's game day at the Big East tournament. Kind of a day we look forward to all year, but this year just not like. Almost had to tell myself, "Oh yeah, that's right, Creighton plays today."
Yeah, I'm excited. I love conference tournament play. It's awesome. I think
Conference tournaments play is exciting.
Yeah.
It is very hard to handicap, though.
Oh yeah.
Because anything and everything can happen. Like the Big East yesterday, all the worst seeds won.
Yeah.
Never happened before. Which I guess Xavier, there's no team in the league that without Carroll and with Carroll is different than Xavier.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
Xavier's pretty bad without him.
Oh yeah.
And so I guess maybe you could have saw that one coming, but Marquette's been playing so well.
Right.
But the one that really shocked me was DePaul and Georgetown.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgetown controlled that whole second half.
They really did.
And it's like, where has that been all year? Like,
it's a great question.
Because they just stifled DePaul's offense. I mean,
yeah. I mean, all the shots DePaul's they were taking were challenged, difficult shots late in the shot clock. Yeah, I mean, Georgetown made life miserable for DePaul in that second half.
Yeah, Providence, the Providence game, that was a coin flip. That could have gone either way.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just one of those things. You watch Providence, you watch them go on some of these runs, and you're just like, how was this team not top half of the Big East? Why did they not get a bye this, to today? Like,
well, I would tell everyone, if everyone has that question before 11 o'clock this morning, go back and look at my interview yesterday with Kevin McNamara of KMAX Sports. When I said something like, yeah, everybody here thinks Providence is one of the more talented teams in the league. And he goes, oh, hold on. Offensively, yes. Defensively, they are the worst defensive team Providence has ever had.
So. Yeah. No, I mean, yes, that is 100% true. I mean, they are. I mean, when we've done our game previews, like, they can score a bunch, but, they give up just as much. So
if you watched the first 6 to 8 minutes of that game yesterday.
Yeah. Right.
Just get layup after layup. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And then they kind of went away from it, start jacking up threes.
They did. Yeah. They, and that's something that, plays right into Providence's hand is when you go down and take quick shots early on in the shot clock. Like, Providence is more than happy with you doing that. If you make them sit and play defense, they do not want to do that. So, yeah, Butler just played right into their hands.
Once they made a few shots, then obviously then they play harder on defense. And, yeah, there it goes. All right, well, so we're going to give a preview here of Seton Hall Creighton today. A lot of implications in a lot of different ways. And but first up, I want to mention Infusion Brewing. Go to infusionbrewing.com, 6271 South 118th Street. If you were heading west to Lincoln and Oak Hills Golf Course is on your right. On the left side is about 2 blocks over is left side of the interstate is where Infusion is located. Great patio was west facing. So on these nice days, you might get blown away today. Apparently, we got a red flag warning, so that's nice.
I think the rest of the week, I think the rest of the week you might get blown away.
Well, I guess tomorrow's supposed to be a little mellower and Saturday, but then Sunday the winds are supposed to blow like crazy. And it's supposed to be like 10-degree wind chill.
Yeah.
So it is spring in Nebraska. That's the way it is.
I know.
So go to Infusion, check out all the great beers. Go there, go in their tasting room, get a flight, check them all out, and then go buy a bunch of 6-packs and get ready for the rest of the tournament action this weekend and also obviously next week. So check it all out. It's Infusion Brewing and infusionbrewing.com. Yeah, so I gotta ask you this question while it's fresh in my mind, and then we're gonna talk about 2 other things too.
Uh,
Um, see the floor at the Big 12 tournament?
I have, yeah.
Did you like it? I liked it.
So I don't really mind it. The only thing is I was wondering what because really all that matters is what the players thought. And
Yeah.
all the players said it was very like slippery. So
Well,
that's
I talked to Coach Lutz about that, and he said his players didn't have a problem.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't mind it. He said he was not a huge fan because that Phillips 66 logo, that's a light coming up from the floor because you
Oh,
can see when they drill. And he
yeah,
goes, I didn't like that at all. He goes, that
yeah,
was very distracting.
yeah,
He goes, all the rest of the stuff was during timeouts. He goes, yeah, whatever.
yeah,
I've heard people say, can we just have a basketball court?
yeah,
But to me, if you're sitting up, at these tournaments, you might not get a great seat and you're sitting in the second deck. Pretty cool that they put highlights
yeah,
and stuff on the court, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. They light up the 3-point line after a guy hits a 3-pointer, and
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's something different, something, something unique. Yeah, I mean, my big thing is, if there's pieces of it that are distracting to players or, areas
Right.
where it's, but, I will say like, some of these courts, like, because of the things that they put down are slippery regardless of if
Yeah.
they were, so like,
Right.
you could say it's, any of these tournaments, different areas where they put the advertisements and things like that have been known to be slippery as well. So,
Yeah, those stickers that they put
yep,
on there, yeah.
yep,
Um, well, maybe it's something to do with what type of shoes they wore too, you
yeah,
know? I don't know.
yeah,
It did appear like if a guy fell, when he goes on the wood, you can't on TV, you can't tell if it's wet or not. There, you could see the spot
okay,
on the TV. The other thing that actually, Fran Fraschilla and, John Shambi mentioned was they were talking about it. They kind of liked it. I think, they're trying to promote the Big 12, of course, but one thing they said was when you watch the highlights, and I noticed it more yesterday than the day before. It was very dark on your TV, and it
yes,
almost looked like the game was in black and white.
yes, I do agree with that. When I didn't watch a ton of Big 12 yesterday, but when I turned it over and it was like, yeah, that court looked really, really dark.
And I wonder if you're there in the arena, how it looked. If it
Yeah,
was light, and maybe they can't have tremendous light like some of those arenas are because
right.
then the floor wouldn't.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I thought it was kinda cool. I mean,
I
amazing technology.
Oh, yeah, that's insane. That's really
I
cool.
mean, and it's not, people say, "Oh, that's just AI putting on." No, that's an LED screen they're playing on,
Yeah.
which you would think. See, to me, I can see the tournament setting, but to me, this would be more something the NBA would have,
Oh, yeah.
for
100%.
entertainment value.
Yes.
Now, there you gotta get it by the Players Association. The Players Association probably say, "No, we don't want it,"
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Right.
But that to me, maybe you could have, like, the outer parts of
Yeah.
the boundary around the court, the LED thing
Yeah.
or something. That'd be
Yeah.
kinda cool. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, before we get into the hoops, I know we've been droning on here for, almost 10 minutes.
Ah,
We haven't even talked about, but I do want 2 things because we had Kevin on yesterday, 2 things I wanna get to. Number 1, just a follow-up, we didn't talk about baseball, went down to LSU. Hey, had a 4-1 lead in the 5th inning.
right. Right.
They were right. They were looking in great shape, and then LSU hit a grand slam.
Yeah.
Probably the longest home run I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so they lost 8-4. But, they were competitive. It was a
Oh, yeah.
competitive game.
Yeah.
Guy hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th too. It was 6-4 for a long time, so they were right there.
Yeah.
So, Ben North had a really big game. So, um, kudos there, and they play Tulane starting tomorrow. And then, what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? Well, we'll think about it later.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Seton Hall.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it a little bit. What was it? Or Tuesday. We touched. I mean, the biggest thing that Creighton has to do is they have to take care of the basketball. And if they don't, you need these turnovers to be dead ball turnovers. And you can't have live ball turnovers against Seton Hall. They will it just feeds them and feeds their offense. And then, just like what we talked about a little bit with Providence is, you get some of these, easy buckets, easy runouts, and then your defense ratchets up even more. So a team that is already solid defensively, they get some turnovers, get some buckets, man, that pressure is just going to be like at an all-time high. So, the Jays actually did a good job in the first matchup. They turned the ball over 11 times. And if you rewatch that game, more than half of those were probably in the last like 4 minutes of that basketball game. So the majority of the time, the Jays did a great job taking care of the basketball. In the second time around, they turned the ball over 18 times, which led to 23 points for Seton Hall. So, right there is just very telling, and that's where Seton Hall was able to have that big lead against the Jays in that second matchup. And again, I'm sure Max talking about this till he's blue in the face. You just have to take care of the basketball. You have to be strong with the basketball too. So not only making solid, smart passes, but guys have to come to the ball. They have to go get it. You can't be reaching for things. You just when you're dribbling with the ball, you can't dribble out in front of, a guy like Bud Clark, because Bud Clark will pick your pocket, 9 times out of 10 if you have that ball out in front of him. So, it's not that simple of a game plan for the Jays, but when you break all the things down, that is the most important piece of this game today.
Yeah. I think of Nick Graves. He
Yeah,
can't be dribbling, and you kind of noticed that. We were just talking about the DePaul game. That kind of what happened to DePaul. It got stuck in guys' hands, and they were
yeah,
dribbling too much.
yep,
They just played right into what Georgetown wanted to do on defense. So,
yeah,
yeah, they've got to keep the ball moving, and then they're very athletic, because I think, what did the stat they used last night? They're one of the shortest teams in D1,
yeah.
but they're one of the top shot blocking teams. So, you're just talking about
Right, right.
athlete, I should say. So, I think rebounding's important for us
Oh, for
too.
sure. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the second point. In the first matchup, the Creighton actually did out rebound Seton Hall 41-34. And that helped the Jays get out to a 16-point lead. But then, it was one of those things, kind of what we talked about with the turnovers. Creighton had very poor timing on some of the rebounds that they gave up in that game. Obviously, the game-winning bucket was an
Yeah.
offensive rebound. And actually, in the second matchup, the Jays, it was even in the rebounding margin at 30, but in that game, points in the paint, it was 34-20 in favor of Seton Hall. So, the Pirates got a lot of buckets inside, made things difficult inside. They don't have like a back to the basket, post play or anything like that, but they just, they want to get downhill. They don't want to shoot, and that's not their strong suit.
Yeah. And look, those points in the paint too. I mean, most of them probably came from Bud Clark, their little
Yeah,
point guard,
yeah,
who has one move. Okay. He dribbles in and then shoots a fadeaway. That's
yeah,
all he does.
yeah,
I would say, hey, just try and go in and play for that fadeaway.
yeah.
Make it
And
really tough on him and let him try and go around you once. I mean, he can. He's very quick, but
oh yeah,
very seldom does he go around, because everybody tries to stop him from going around him.
right. Yep. Yeah.
And so I think put a little challenge on that fadeaway maybe.
Yeah, and I
I don't
mean
know.
he's a small guard, so I mean
Yeah, really small.
it's not like he can dribble in, like Josh Dix or somebody like that, or even Austin Swartz. They has the elevation and can jump up and not have to fade away. So like Bud Clark has to do that in order to get shots off. So
I think Swartz is a big key today. He's got to hit some
yes,
shots.
yeah. Hopefully, he is, I know his ankle, for a while was bothering him. Hopefully this time off, just kind of reset, get back to it. Because when teams get up and guard you like Seton Hall does, those mid-range jump shots are open because you have to be quick in your decision making. Couple dribbles hard and pull up and shoot the ball. You're not. It's going to be very difficult, like you talked about. It's going to be very difficult to get all the way to the basket against Seton Hall. They're athletic. They can recover quick. They're good at blocking shots. So, like, you're going to have to pull up and hit some of these mid-range shots, or else your shot's going to be sent, a few rows deep and at Madison Square Garden. So
2 games high scoring yesterday, then the second one was just an absolute rock fight.
yeah,
God, terrible.
especially the start of that second half, man, that was some ugly
Oh my
basketball.
god. So was the first half.
Yeah,
God, Georgetown could not throw it in the ocean.
yeah,
I mean, they were missing layups. It just, yeah. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've talked on this show about, tomorrow. You were saying, well, if we would win, if we'd beat Seton Hall, then tomorrow, everybody's like, oh, well, we're not going to beat St. John's. Like, one of those teams, UConn and or St. John's, though, I think are vulnerable tomorrow when they're like, oh God, we get to play
right.
UConn or we get to play St. John's again. I can't wait.
Yep.
Everybody wants that matchup again, right?
Oh yeah.
On the flip side of that, you could even push that back to today with St. John's, or I'm sorry, with Seton Hall. Like, okay, we get one more shot at St. John's. We were so close both times that we can beat those guys. So,
Yep.
let's win and look right by Creighton, because
Yep.
I'm sure they feel like definitely they should have won both games
Yep.
because they did totally give away that second one.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. Mac has a great record in the tournament for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And a big thing, if you look at the first matchup, final score is 56-54. Jays went 10 of 16 from the free throw line. So you lose a 2-point game, you give away 6 at the free throw line. And then that second matchup, 69-68, Seton Hall was 64% from the free throw line, 9 of 14. So, in those 2 games, super tight, super close, both teams missing critical free throws. So, you anticipate this one being close again. And, who's going to, step up, make the free throws, and, make those key plays, get on the floor for that loose ball. Both of these teams, there's no doubt that Seton Hall plays hard. And I think a lot of people think that they get away with a lot of things,
sure do.
especially on defense. I think in the last game preview, we kind of went through and talked about the games that they were losing and how all of those games they were at like 19 plus fouls. And then the ones that they win, they're below that. I know in the first matchup, they were only called for 15 fouls. In the second matchup, they were called for 16 fouls. So, it'll be
that's
interesting.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It'll be interesting because you never know in these tournament games how the officials are going to call games. Sometimes they let you play, sometimes they let you play for the first half, and then they call everything in the second half. So
Yeah.
it'll be that's going
And
to be
here's a dynamic here too. Like the first game's going to be St. John's at Providence, and they had the big brawl, so that's going to be called tight.
yep.
Will they then go, all right, we call that one tight, we're going to let things go in a second?
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
it's just
Nope.
human nature kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and of the games so far, I would say it's been called looser than tighter so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but I think for the most part, there's been a few weird, like, off the ball calls where I was like, "What's that?" But, I don't know if if you saw the interview at halftime with that mod.
Oh yeah, I did.
He was so great. She asked him another question, and he just goes, "Yeah, we got to rebound better." And boom, he was gone because
Yeah.
he was ready to go off on the
Yeah.
refs.
Yeah. I
He
think he
was
said
ready.
something like, "Thanks for asking the questions," or something like that.
Yeah,
And
and
just
he
I
goes,
just booked it.
"So what?" He goes, "Well," he looks back. He goes, "First thing we got to do is get a call."
You're
And then
right.
he kind of caught himself, and he kind of
Yep.
went, and then she kind of went down that road again, and he was
Yeah.
gonna unleash, and then he just like, "Okay, I can't say anything."
Yeah. Yeah. I did see that, and that was very funny.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah.
I
Be
wish
be
they'd done a little
interesting what
better this
happens
year
with them.
because they got off to a great start.
They did. Yeah.
So the implications here is Seton Hall is still, because there's just nobody on the bubble. Oklahoma's coming up a little bit now, but there's nobody else. Otherwise, somebody would have taken one of these teams. Like I think Auburn's probably going to get in at 18 and 16 right now. If they win today, they'll be 19 and no, they'll be 18 and 15 if they win today. They're probably going to get in because there's nobody else, and Indiana can't keep losing double digits to Northwestern and expect to stay in the field. I mean,
Right.
it's ridiculous.
Right.
SMU's really teetering. Texas is teetering, but
Right.
there's nobody else to fill in. So is Seton Hall, but Seton Hall's got to win today, and they got to win tomorrow. If they don't, they don't have a shot. So they're still playing for their NCAA tournament lives, even though it's a small,
Right.
it's not a very big chance. We've talked about this before. We'll talk about it again. So the Crown, which just played the first week in April and kind of played opposite of that dead week between the regionals and the Final Four. The Big East gets 2 automatic bids, and they are required to give the Crown 2 teams. It basically goes by net, how you sit in the net. Which is obviously Seton Hall, if they don't make it, has the better net right now of all the other teams. So they would be definitely 1. Number 2 is kind of up for grabs. Now there's an interesting dynamic. Creighton has a small edge. Now it actually helped yesterday if you were like who should I cheer for? It helped that Providence won because we talked to Kevin McNamara. He doesn't think Providence is going to just totally decline any bid altogether. DePaul, there was a couple guys who kind of project the Crown. DePaul seemed to be everybody's shiny object, and everybody was picking them to go. Now I think they've dropped us. They lost 3 in a row now. They were 6 seeded. They lost the first game. I would think that's probably not as attractive a team as they were 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So that leaves basically Creighton and Butler. And let's see where we sit this morning because things can change even when you don't play. Creighton actually dropped a spot. Oh, yeah. Providence jumped us. Creighton's at 82. Providence is 79. So Butler's at 85. So we're playing a team that is currently 55. So we would probably not drop much if we lost. Are we going to drop a little Butler? I don't think so. Then it would just boil down to if Providence wants the bid, because I think they'd be an attractive team to go to that tournament because they do play a pretty interesting brand of basketball.
Yeah.
But again, if they're going to lose today and then they fire Kim English, as is rumored,
right?
Are they really going to go anywhere in the non-conference? I don't know.
Yeah.
But if we win today, okay, we're going to move up. We'll probably leapfrog past Providence, especially if they lose. If they
Right.
win, then
Right.
all bets are off.
Right.
But we leapfrog past Providence, then yeah, we're pretty much a lock in at that point. So that's kind of how I've looked at it. We're pretty much a lock if we win. Everything coaches told me that they would go.
Okay.
Now, with all that being said, rumblings are starting to happen again about Mac. Some people think this is his last. If you lose today, this is his last game. I don't know. I've said all year, there's something just not right here. There's something just, I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. Not saying that's it. Just saying there's something not. So, I don't know. Still rumblings about the him in Arizona State as well. I've not heard anything new with K-State and Huss. Have you? I haven't heard anything.
I have not. No. I mean,
I thought
it's
that was
just,
ridiculous anyway. Why would he do
it's,
that? That just makes no sense.
I agree.
The only way would be if Mac told him, hey, I'm going to coach 3 more years. You go down
Right.
there and then you come back.
Right.
Guess it worked for Dana Allman. You can work for Al Huss.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of the implications today. So it's a big game for both teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, we win 3 and we're in the NCAA tournament.
Exactly.
All the years that we
Right.
had a great shot,
Right.
last year and all these times I think he's had 5 finals, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be odd if this was the year we won it? Wouldn't it seemed impossible?
Right. Yeah. That would. Yeah. This would just be that of all the things that have happened this year, and then Creighton goes and wins the Big East tournament, it would just be.
Here's what could happen though. This is not. Well, it's pretty far fetched, but Providence beats St. John's today,
Right.
and then Villanova beats UConn.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And Xavier
Right.
beat him. That was the other thing. Did you hear Patino?
Yes. Yes.
It was great. What are you going to do against
yeah.
UConn? Everything opposite we've done the last 3 games because we've been beat by 32 and 23.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. The
Very
coaches were
strange.
on it yesterday. So
Very strange. You have a game tomorrow at noon, and your head coach is there on the sideline watching his son play.
yeah.
Like not game planning, not.
Yeah.
It just seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it, but
Yeah.
it's Rick Pitino.
I know.
When he was at was he at St. John? No, he was playing whoever he was. Who did he coach for at the MAAC?
Iona.
Yeah. When he was there, he would fly to Minneapolis and watch Pitino coach the Gophers.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the week.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I think he's a guy that doesn't screw the game plan.
Yeah.
Just get me out there for 40 minutes. I'll win the damn game.
Right.
I think he's just that good.
Yeah. I agree.
Anyway, that's that. By the way, so baseball plays Tulane starting tomorrow, by the way. I did forget to mention that. And the other thing we did touch on it Monday, but the women obviously went down, but they had a great season.
It was awesome.
For everything that went on, putting in a bunch of young players. So
yeah, a lot of a bright future for the Lady Jays.
I don't think we mentioned this ever too. This is not what I was thinking of, but I don't think we mentioned this was volleyball is going to play Nebraska in an exhibition.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty exciting.
Yes.
Also very exciting is our relationship with RTI Threads. Go to RTA Threads and RTIthreads.com. Check out all the great Jays gear they have. Man, you can get anything you want. You can get some maybe heavier stuff for some of these baseball games. Softball opens up the stadium, brand new stadium this weekend. So there you go.
You're going to need some warm stuff.
You're going to need some warm stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I would think Sunday they'll move that to a Saturday doubleheader because it's Sunday supposed to be pretty brutal.
Right.
But you need some warm clothing, so get out there. go to RTA Threads and check out everything they have to offer. So we got the game today, and then afterwards, obviously, post-game show. We should be on about, I've been telling people 1:45. It's, actually the official game time is 1:30, but typically these games run long. So I wouldn't hold my breath. It's going to tip at 1:30. I think it'd probably be closer to 1:45, but we'll be on about 4:00. So come on live right here on our YouTube channel. We'll be live. So come on. You can come on, join us, jump in by sending an email to this very email address. There we are. bluejaybanner@gmail.com. Send an email there, and you can get on the show. We'll give you away. We still got a bunch of stuff to give away. Next week, we got to keep pumping this because it's coming up fast. On Monday, starting Monday, we're going to do brackets. So Mike's going to be a part of it. We've got some commitment from some other people to jump on with us. Jay's Classic's going to be on with us. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So jump on with us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to do nothing but NCAA brackets. We're going to take a little respite from Creighton Sports and do that. So check it all out. And then Thursday and Friday, Mike and I will have NCAA tournament previews / predictions / handicapping advice.
All right.
On the games coming up Thursday and Friday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and we got to mention too, Vino Moss. Man, I was there on Monday. It was so gorgeous. Monday was so gorgeous. We sat outside, had some wine, had a charcuterie board. It was awesome. So Vino Moss, vinomoss.com. You can check out all the wines they have, and plus they have great recipes there that pair with the wines. So you've got it all right there. You can get your dinner, get your wine. You got it all set. And why don't you cook it for your wife? You'll be a star.
There you go.
So check it all out. Vino Moss and vinomoss.com. Good times, good friends, good wine. All right. That's it for today. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be here with a game preview.
It will be.
Is that your prediction?
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Jays are 2.5-point underdogs, by the way.
All right.
Under over extremely low for Creighton. It's like 133. Could be another rock fight. I don't know. I hope it's not.
Right?
It would be better for Creighton if it was high scoring because Seton Hall can't score 70 points.
Yep.
So, yeah. Maybe I think we're just going to have to, if we just have one magical shooting day and just get by this game, I'll feel a lot better.
It would be, this would be the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy all the games today, and we'll see you right back here on the post game later this afternoon.
Go Jays.